Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Authentic Journey. I'm your host, Ben Beery. Today, I'm really excited to introduce our guest to you, Colin Snowball. Colin is a Los Angeles-based entrepreneur and founder of Digital Shelf Strategies, a boutique consulting agency helping brands streamline operations and boost profitability on Amazon and TikTok. With a background spanning nonprofits, digital marketing, and high-growth client partnerships, Colin blends business acumen with a deep understanding of human relationships anchored by his guiding philosophy, always be giving. He practices a new paradigm of entrepreneurship, one that prioritizes consciousness, collaborations, and a mutual benefit over profit alone. This philosophy extends to his newest venture, Parts of Fortune, a streetwear brand with mystic roots, and Reformed Scorpio Club, a global community dedicated to raising consciousness and transforming the shadow into strength. Transforming the shadow into strength, Colin.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Thank you so much for having me, first of all.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to be here. You know, it's funny because when you were telling me about the authentic journey, you know, I saw so many parallels to what I'm starting to launch with the Reformed Scorpio Club, right? And it's really this opportunity for all of us to really tap into what is our journey, right? And my journey has been one of, you know, growing up very spiritual, kind of turning my back on that and really like being like, I have to live in this 1% world. And I can't be the guy that's different. I can't be the guy that knows about astrology or knows about these, you know, energies and things of that nature. And then also the things in my life that pushed me back towards that, right? And really getting in touch with my own spiritual path. And so for me, I'm a Scorpio, mega Scorpio. I have 4 planets in Scorpio. And, you know, in astrology, there's a term, Reformed Scorpio. Reformed Scorpio is someone who's overcome the shadow side of the sign, right? Scorpios, we get, and I know you're a Scorpio as well, like we get some of the most shit in the astrology community, right? Like we get all the beef, you know, there's they're fiery, they've got the stinger, they're the scorpion, right? So, you know, for me, it's really about not saying that I've overcome that, but I'm on a journey to try to overcome the shadow side, right? Like I believe that we all choose, you know, what we incarnate as and what we're here to overcome. And I think astrology has a big piece of that. I don't believe astrology is fact, that it is, you know, you can look at the stars and know exactly what's going to happen to you or know exactly how you have to act. But I do think that it's guideposts. And so for me, the Reformed Scorpio Club is really just a journey, very similar to the authentic journey in many ways, where I want to continue to expand my capacity to continue to try to make an impact on the world and raise the consciousness of the people around me and support the people around me. And it's going to be done through, you know, having professionals on that have studied everything from the metaphysical to science to how it impacts our daily lives, to also just really, you know, very similar to what you're doing here, and vulnerability, you know, giving people the opportunity and the platform to share and create a community that fosters that vulnerability, which I think fosters, you know, stronger communities in general.
And you'll get to show yourself to the world.
Yes, absolutely. Right. And putting yourself out there. And again, you know, we've talked so much just through our conversations about, you know, overcoming fears and, you know, what does it mean to put ourselves out there? Right. I think there's a few themes that I look at when I think about what I try to get to and where I try to strive to be in my life.
Yeah.
One is like romanticizing my own life.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think a lot of people are too, you know, they don't see maybe not the value, but they don't see the uniqueness of their own light and their own gifts. And I think really romanticizing your life, like so much of us are going through so much right now, right? A lot of my friends are going through a lot, whether it's their businesses, their personal lives, and like getting into that mindset of you've overcome a lot. Like you and I talking at lunch.
Yeah.
Right. Like you've overcome a lot, right?
Yeah.
I feel like I've overcome a lot.
Yeah.
And I think so often in day-to-day life, we have this tendency to fall into like, hey, like I'm just another piece in the machine. I'm just another cog, right? And really that couldn't be further from the truth, right? So I think that's one thing that I'm trying to help spread that message is like take the time to romanticize your life, spread love, give, you know, anywhere that you can. And then I think the other piece is just choice. For people who don't feel confident about where they're at in life, like how do you make those choices, whether they're small choices or big choices, to change that?
Yeah. No, it's true. We all definitely
Yeah.
have choice in life, and it's like,
Yeah.
what do we choose to do with the different things in areas of
Yeah.
life where we're at?
Get to choose who we surround ourselves with. We get to choose where we live. You know, like there's all these things where you can overwhelm the system and really, like actually, there's a concept that I was really playing around with the other day, and it's because I traveled to New Mexico last week. I went to see my brother. I don't know. I don't think we've gotten into this deep of the side. This is where I was starting to go with a little bit of the spirituality. My brother is 39. He's got 2 kids and he's widowed, right? And when that life event happened, it was shattering, right? The whole family was shattered, right? It was unexpected. It was out of the blue. And I think that's one of the things that started me on my journey back to spirituality, onto like understanding deeper of why we're here, to see this very difficult moment for a lot of people, including me, right, in life. And I don't own that as my story. That's my brother. And that's, he's the one that carries that grief and has had to go through that journey. But it pushed me to really want to go deeper and to understand more and to really value the time that we have here and try to make the most of it. So as I was traveling to see my brother, I was, there's an energy wherever we go. There's an energy in the airport. There's an energy in this new city that we go to. And I know you've traveled a lot. I was thinking about all the people that are in their hometowns that haven't had the opportunity to travel much. And just even like this idea of just get in the car and drive, right? Like go to the town over and just sit, like go have a meal by yourself, sit in that energy of being in a different environment and see where that takes you, right? Just getting outside of that comfort zone, especially when that concept of hometown is where I was going with it. I don't know if that resonates with you at all.
Totally. I mean, when I was looking at, I grew up in a small town,
Yeah.
Moraga, California. I think there's like
Okay.
16,000 people. Not a whole lot to do. We don't even have our own freeway exit.
Really?
It's like
Okay.
you've gotta exit
Yeah.
at one of the 2 nearby cities to get to, and the energy is there as you kind of go to be away from anything. And if you want to go kind of into more of like civilization or more of an area to go and do something, go to the grocery stores, go out, meet some friends, socialize, like go to different events. I will say this: we do have St. Mary's College over there. So
Okay.
there's like
Okay.
some like sports and stuff like that. Basketball, they have a solid basketball program.
Yep.
So that's kind of one of the things that we boast in Moraga, California. But it's like, but I remember it's like coming out here to Newport Beach before I moved out here. I remember sitting here and thinking, I'm like, man, like it seems like there's things going on here. Like I don't actually have to leave the town I live in to go and do something.
Yeah.
It's like there's restaurants here. There's like things to do, places to go socialize. We have the beach. I mean, in all these different places, and with all of that comes people as well, and the people carry their own energy, right?
Yeah.
And it's like depending on where you are, or what city or what area, the people are going to have a certain level of vibration
100%,
and
yeah.
that's going to rub off on you depending
Yeah.
on who you interact with. That's going to raise or lower your vibration as a person.
Yes.
And for me, I discovered that I'm better off in this type of environment out in Newport Beach than I was in Moraga, California, or where I had my business when I first opened it in Walnut Creek, California. I found that
Creek.
Newport Beach is probably a better environment for me from a vibrational standpoint. and
What
getting to
did
meet
the process look like from the first time you saw Newport to actually moving? Like, what was the mental process? What was that, from ideation to execution? What did that look like, time-wise, thought process-wise?
So the funny thing is in 2017, when I was in college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do for a living. And I came out here to Newport Beach to do an agent academy with Lee Steinberg. Lee Steinberg is a
Interesting.
renowned football agent.
Yeah.
And he put together an agent academy. It's like, hey, come by, learn the ins and outs of
Interesting.
being a certified NFL agent.
Yeah.
I'm like, this sounds interesting. I'm going to book my flight for this. I'm going to go stay at a hotel. I've never been out here before. I flew into John Wayne, Orange County Airport.
Yep.
I was totally broke at the time, and I was working an unpaid internship while I was in college.
Wow. Okay.
And so I'm like, I need cheapest everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
I stayed at the Ramada in Costa Mesa.
Okay.
Nice
accommodations there.
Very, very nice accommodations over there.
Yeah.
Flew into John Wayne Airport, stayed at the Ramada in Costa Mesa, did not rent a car, was trying to save money.
Okay.
I remember asking my friend where I should go to eat, and he told me go to Mama D's in Newport Beach.
Okay.
And I remember taking an Uber to go to Mama D's in Newport Beach. And the Uber cost whatever it cost. It was like 15, 20 bucks, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I think dinner cost me another 25 bucks. And when you're a broke college student, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I remember on the way back, I'm getting ready to get my Uber back, another 20 bucks. I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay, hotel's probably about a mile and a half away. Got to walk uphill, crossing into the border of Costa Mesa. I'm not in any rush. This is the night before the event.
So you hoofed it.
I'm going to walk.
Okay.
I'm going to walk.
Yeah.
And I remember during that time while I was walking, or kind of near the beach-ish, I just remember the vibe, just seeing kids running around, scooters, surfboards. Yeah. People aren't wearing a shirt. They're hanging out. Life is good. I'm like, things are just calm over here.
Yes. Yeah.
And I remember just being in this like dream stage of like, hey, like, can I make an entrepreneurship journey work?
Yeah.
Do I want to be a sports agent? I'm excited to learn about what I'm going to learn about this weekend. Ultimately, I went to this agent academy that he put on. It was Lee Steinberg and Chris Cabot. At the time, they were talking about, this was 2017. They were talking about this kid that they had at their agency. They had just gotten drafted. He had just gotten drafted to the Kansas City Chiefs. He was going to be Alex Smith's backup for the season.
Okay.
They're talking about this guy as if he's like the next big thing.
Yeah.
He's about to kill it in the NFL. Sure enough, it was Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, I think he's lived up to it.
And I think they were right when they're sitting there hyping this guy up, and they were all excited about him. And looking back at it now, rightfully so, but they did a great job at this agent academy.
Yeah.
And the way they talked about all the different ins and outs of stuff within the business, like they genuinely came from a good place of, hey, let us share what this is like.
It's beautiful.
I remember leaving that agent academy going, they did a great job. I'm really grateful that they shared about this. After what I've learned, this is likely not a path that I'm looking to take.
Okay.
But I'm really grateful I underwent that experience, and there's something about this vibe in Southern California, more specifically in Newport Beach, that just resonated with me. And I kind of just must have ingrained that into my subconscious.
Wow. Okay.
And yeah, COVID happened in 2020.
Yeah.
Everything was kind of closed off in the Bay Area. I remember coming out here for a business trip, and I met up with a friend, went to a sushi restaurant, and we ate at a sushi restaurant. And I'm like, okay, we're in the Bay Area. I haven't sat in a restaurant for a long time.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
This could be like kind of nice to live in a place where we can go to restaurants.
Yes.
And I moved out here in April 2021, and I've been here since, and I'm really grateful that I'm here. But it's like, it's really interesting because once your subconscious mind takes on an idea, which for me in 2017, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, would be nice to live in Newport one day.
Yeah.
It's like, it's crazy what happens in the real world once your subconscious mind takes up an idea and like buys into it and believes that it can be yours.
Yeah. It's amazing. There's so many like parallels between our journeys, like we were talking at lunch too, right? Because even just the fact that you came here for chasing a dream, we can call it that, right? Like, hey, that looks cool. I want to be a sports agent, right? But yet it opened the door to this beautiful place, so many more opportunities for you, and you're a thriving entrepreneur now, right? Like, and this is where you've taken your business. Yeah, that's so cool, man. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's great. And it's like, it's interesting to see all these different paths and where they take you. And it's like all the things that you never thought were going to happen. It's like you truly never make a wrong turn in life. It's like when you go somewhere and it's like you make a wrong turn.
Yeah.
You were meant to make that turn. And then the question is where was that turn leading you? And like, what were you actually like, what was the real message behind it? And it's
Yeah.
like, so it's like all these redirections we have in life.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no such thing as like, I made a wrong turn, I'm
I agree
screwed,
with
I'm
you.
out. It's like,
Yeah.
embrace the redirections you have in life and kind of see where it's leading you to. And sometimes it's better than what you've envisioned to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, my philosophy, I believe there is no wrong turn, like you're saying. The only thing we can do wrong is inaction, right? Like is to be saddled with so much overwhelming feelings of saying like, I can't make a decision here. That's the only thing that really, I think, slows us down, right? Like we talk about like in business, right? You know, we're both entrepreneurs now. I think the CEO mindset, right? The CEO mindset is not to spend all the time thinking about what's the right decision. It's to very quickly be able to say, this is the right decision and we're going that direction, right? We're going to figure everything else out because there's going to be problems. There's going to be problems no matter which lane we take, right? There's each choice in life comes with its own set of challenges. So if we sit there and we spend so much time thinking about, I have to make the right choice, I mean, we're just losing valuable time to get to that challenge and overcome it and then, you know, keep progressing and raising our elevation.
And sometimes the best decision you can make is to change your mind.
Yeah.
And accept that you made the wrong decision to begin with.
Yeah.
And that you may not know what the right decision is, but you know that the decision you originally made was not correct.
Yes.
And to go back on that and walk it back and say, hey, whatever that was, it was a mistake.
Yeah, owning it.
I'm
right?
going to own it. I'm
Yeah.
going to take accountability for it. And we're going to move in a different direction from that and cut whatever losses you have. I mean, obviously you have that every once in a while. It's like as business owners, we make hires, we get employees. It's like they come on board. Everything looks great at first. And then at a certain point later down the line, it may not be as great of a fit as you would like it to be.
Yeah.
And that's okay. It doesn't make them a bad person. That doesn't make them a bad employee. That doesn't make us a bad employer. That doesn't make us a bad person. But ultimately, you're looking for a fit. And I think for anything in life, I mean, going back to, hey, we're talking about earlier what hometown I grew up in or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, doesn't mean the place was bad. It just
No.
wasn't an environment for me where I could thrive. And I think we owe it to ourselves to have loyalty to our future rather than loyalty to our past. And sometimes we hold on to certain decisions that we make because we have a certain sense of pride behind the original decision, where it's like the best thing we can do is just let go of our original decision and move into the future and allow ourselves to achieve growth.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because you're talking about that and it reminded me of when I decided to move to California, right? And we were talking a little bit about it, but for me, I had not been to San Diego. That's where I originally moved to. Now I'm in LA and I love being in LA, but I just had this calling to San Diego, right? And so I had graduated from Florida State, worked in the sports field for a bit, similar to you, decided, hey, as much as this is a really cool path, it's not for me, right? And I'll still coach, and I've coached a lot of youth basketball, and I love coaching, but you know, to be a college coach, which was the path I was on, was just, I realized the lifestyle is not for me. Yeah. I want a family. I want to be around. I want to be there the day I do have kids. And, you know, these guys are hustling 24/7, right? They are jumping on jets. They are on the road. They're recruiting. But all that to be said, I ended up moving back to my hometown after college. And again, my hometown, Bradenton, Florida, you know, it's one of the fastest growing communities in America now. And yeah, sure, it looks really appealing. But at the time, like, there was nothing that sounded less appealing than going to my hometown. Never thought I'd be that guy that went to college and then moved back, right? So after 5 years there, making my way through, you know, again, I've reconnected with friends who were, you know, maybe a little older than me. We're all back in this hometown. Great friends. They're lifelong friends. I had made up my mind. I wanted to move to San Diego. And so I did visit San Diego. I spent 24 hours in San Diego. I fell in love with the city, right? And so for the next 6 months, I was applying to jobs every single night. Thousands and thousands of applications. And there came to be a point where my lease was coming due, and I had to either re-sign for a year in Florida, and nothing had been moving on the California trail, right? I'm talking 0 phone calls. Just really, like, I've been overwhelming the system as we talk in, you know, certain spiritual practices. Like, I'm applying every night. Nothing came from it. So I went to a buddy of mine who was also his lease was coming due. And we talked, and he said, why don't we live together? I said, you know what? It doesn't look like California is going to happen for me. Let's do it. Let's go start looking at apartments. That weekend, we started looking at apartments. That next week, I got a phone call from one of the applications I had put in, right? And I said to my buddy Mike at the time, I said, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. It's a little marketing agency in Carlsbad, California. I just blind applied. I was throwing so many applications out. I wasn't even running cover letters anymore. I was so sick of it. I was just like, apply. And at the time, I was working in the affiliate marketing industry, and it's known as CPA, cost per acquisition. The only reason he stopped on my resume when I applied for an advertising job is because he saw CPA and thought certified personal accountant, and thought, why the hell did an accountant apply to be our advertising guy? So it's funny how it worked, but from that point, it was 2 weeks later that I was then moving to California. So again, I was overwhelming the system. I told my buddies on a trip to Puerto Rico right before I got noticed right before we went to Puerto Rico, like a little bro trip, that they were going to fly me to California for an interview. And I thought, man, there's no way they're flying me out here if it's not serious. Like if they don't see that there could potentially be an offer. So I told all those buddies while we're in Puerto Rico, we're sitting at a bar in Puerto Rico. I said, guys, I think I'm moving to California. And it's like 5 of my best buddies. And they all told me what an idiot I was, right? All coming from a place of love, right? I mean, one of the guys was like, hey, if you have a tough day, you're not going to be able to pick up the phone and call us and say, hey, let's go get a beer. We're not going to be there for you, right? And so for me, I had so much certainty in my mind that that's where I needed to be. But those guys were coming from the only place that they knew of, like, don't do it. That's a terrible decision. And I'm still best friends with those guys. And it's been one of the best decisions of my life. So it's funny how all these things can align. We talk about our hometowns and wanting to get more. And we were talking about choice earlier. Like, we get to choose where we go.
You get to choose where you go, and you get to choose who you have in your life.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting when your friends tell you certain things that they think is in your best interest. Mm-hmm. And they genuinely come from a really well-intentioned place, and they want to see what's best for you. But sometimes it's to the maximum level of their capabilities. Yeah. And you aspire for more. Yeah. And you aspire for more than they're capable of. So they can't really see your vision. So they got to tell you, hey, man, you're on the wrong track. Yeah. Like, you're kind of an idiot for doing this. And it's like, and they are saying it out of love. Totally. They are well-intentioned. And it's like, can we get to a point where we reframe that as to not, hey, this person doesn't believe in me, not this person doesn't love me, but this person is coming at me from the maximum level of what their capability is.
Absolutely.
And they do want to see what's best for me, but they can't see the vision. Yeah. That's okay. Yeah. I'm not going to hold them against it. I'm not going to hold that against them. And I'm going to accept them for where they are in life, but I'm still going to believe in myself and go for my vision. Yeah. Because
it's a test of certainty.
Sure.
Right? When you've got people that you really care about telling you they don't agree with the decision you're making. Yeah. It's a true test of how bad is your soul really resonating with what you're chasing? And it is an opportunity to pause and reflect. But for me in that moment, it was just like, like, hey guys, I love you, but I'm doing this. Yeah. Right. And it's been, I would argue, the best decision I've ever made in my life. I mean, it's led to a career that, is grown and grown and grown year over year exponentially, like beyond wildest dreams, to then the journey to entrepreneurship and being tied into so many amazing people that I got to meet along that journey that now are on my entrepreneurship journey, and we partner on certain things. So, it's been a phenomenal experience. But, you do look back at that moment and go, what if I did listen to them and go, oh no, like, where would my life be? That reflection.
And also, how often do we listen to people and follow their advice? But the truth is when somebody's asked for advice, they give the best advice they could possibly give without any real knowledge or preparation. They're just kind of shooting from the hip. Yeah. And then we go and we follow that advice that they weren't even prepared to give. Yeah. and they were just giving it to us to be polite.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden now we're down a path that we don't even want. We never even wanted to begin with, but we're now chasing a path that somebody else laid out for us.
Yeah.
And we're in turn missing out on what we really want and the path that's actually meant for us.
Yeah. The flip side of that too, I saw a great quote when you were talking about that and reminded me of it, is, it's essentially along the lines of like, I don't take any criticism from anyone that I wouldn't ask for advice from.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
Right. Or like, then there's another great quote where they say, I don't care what you criticize because I've seen what you cheer for.
Yeah.
Right. And so those are two of the great quotes that are always playing around my mind. And a good example of that is like, you're really putting yourself out here. You've started this podcast, right? Like that comes with opening yourself up to feedback and comments and vulnerability on the internet, right? I did a podcast. I was a guest on a podcast maybe 5-6 months ago, right? And we had a couple clips that went, not viral, but, a couple thousand views, 5,000-6,000 views on TikTok. We were talking strictly e-commerce. And, some of the comments were like, shave, right? I had my handlebar mustache at the time, right? So right away, people are commenting on my appearance. Right away, people are, I was telling an anecdote from, the like archives of COVID on Amazon. Right away, people are, telling me I'm lying, questioning my facts, So like, it was a true moment of like, man, I was just sitting there having fun, like talking with a buddy. And now I'm getting this hate, so to speak. And again, it was light, but it's a true testament of like certainty, believing in your own path. And like, I got to give you kudos for starting this venture. You're trying to put something into the world. You're trying to give, but you're still opening that door.
And I think it's time. Like, I think it's time, not only for me, but like for more people to do that. It's like so many of us have different thoughts and different ideas and different things that we believe in that we keep to ourselves out of a certain level of fear that someone may judge us. Someone may hate on us. Somebody may make a comment that we will find not in our favor.
Yeah.
Other people may think less of us. But at the end of the day, if you're being authentic and that's who you are, it's like, for me, there's no regrets. Like if I say exactly what I believe, like what I believe in. And
well, I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier, though. Everything is a frequency, right? Like it's the same thing I used to talk about when I was mentoring some of these younger guys when I was in corporate America and I was in sales, right? I was, had teams under me. And, there's always be this, especially when, it's business or personal, you're putting yourself out there, like there's this pressure we put on ourselves to make sure we're saying the right thing, right? Like we're trying to close this deal, but we're trying to do it ethically. What are the right words? And my philosophy always was, listen, if you're coming from the right place, if you're coming from an ethical place, if you're coming from a place where I want to share and I want to give into this, right? It doesn't matter what words actually flow out of your mouth. Like people pick up on the energy, pick up on the vibration, and you attract that back to you.
Yeah. Also, the right things really come up when it's like math and science. It's like, yes, there is a right equation here to get to the answer.
Yeah.
That's what's right. But in a real world situation, it's like there's all these infinite possibilities. And it's like there's no one way for Ben Beery to live his life. There's no one way for Colin Snowball to live his life. Like there's no one way for each individual person to live their life. There's no one way for when Tom Brady is on the football field and he's starting to get some pressure. There's no one right step he should take or throw he should make. It's like you really have to read every situation and react to it as it's happening and make the move that you think is most aligned with you. Not even, there's no such thing as a right move. It's like, what's the most aligned with you at the exact moment? And it's like, you look at somebody like Tom Brady, it's like, hey, let's hit Julian Edelman. It's like all of a sudden it's like they're coming back against Atlanta and they're winning the Super Bowl.
Okay, so you don't know this, but that's a painful one for me.
Oh, you're Atlanta guy.
Yes.
Oh man,
I'm a Falcons guy.
let's go.
That one was painful.
Well, you guys had a fun, like, what was it, 3/4 or whatever it is? You guys were probably all excited.
One of my really good buddies is, he's from Worcester, from Boston.
Oh my God.
And, I remember, like, I finally got up the courage. I was like, we got this in the bag. I'm starting to talk shit, via text. And then it just...
By the way, it could be your fault. Maybe it's your fault.
Yeah,
you talk too soon.
Matty Ice, Matt Ryan, I apologize. Yeah, yeah. But... Yeah, that was
it's like, hey, there's this guy, Colin. He's talking some shit. It's like Tom Brady picks up on it. He's like, all right, we got to shut up, Colin. It's like...
he's that petty. I think he would. Yeah. He would care.
Like one fucking guy sitting there on his couch getting all comfortable. It's like, that's probably his inspiration. It's like, no, but it's so interesting. It's like sitting there and reading situations and reacting to them. And it's like, and how do you, in as like cool and calm and collected of a manner, approach all these different things that occur in your life and really just take it into a place where it's like the outcome truly doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And you just know that you're constantly moving in the right direction and you're raising not only like your frequency as a person, but the people that are around you. And like, you're just kind of elevating everybody that's around you. And all of a sudden now you find yourself in a circle of people where it's like, it's all love. It's all growth. It's all like, everyone's just heading in the right direction.
And I think so much of it comes with age and experience, right? And we can accelerate that track, right? One, you're a sports guy like I'm a sports guy, right? Yeah. It's like we prepare for every possible scenario, right? Totally. And in life, that's about self-improvement, right? That's what am I consuming content-wise? What are my priorities? Am I moving my body? Like, combining the science, right? There's a lot of science around movement and what it does for our brain, right? Combining those efforts with just really working on ourselves in whatever the way that is, whether it's physical, metaphysical, spiritual, like continuing to try to evolve as human beings. And then I think the flip side of that is you get to situations where, especially when you have something really challenging come up, but then you eventually get to the other side of it and you start to go, okay, if I can get through that, I can get through this, right? Like, it doesn't mean that there's not another challenge that's going to come up. Honestly, the next challenge is probably going to be more difficult, right? Right, as we're trying to elevate, we're going to continue to have things thrown our way. I think that so much of it goes into that just, do I continually go back into that headspace of, I've been through something like this before, I've overcome challenges, I know that if I just keep showing up, keep putting good into the world, like it's going to come back to me. Right. And I think that's a mindset that you really have to kind of hone over time. But I do think a lot of that comes from overcoming challenges.
And you get to a spot where it's like, as you're going through the different challenges, like I remember when I was younger, it's like, oh no, this again. Like, here we go again. Like, here's another challenge, like similar realm as the one before. And it's like you get into a headspace where it's like, well, this might be the time that actually breaks me. Yeah. Like I may break from this one. Like I overcame the last one. I overcame the last two. I overcame the last three. Like I'm due. Yeah. I'm due to break from this one. Yeah. And now it's like looking at these different challenges and sitting there and thinking to myself, it's like, wow, like I'm grateful that happened. Yeah. That helped me build character. Yeah. The person I am today is willing to look at anything at face value and just understand that whatever is happening to me that's right in front of me that I need to overcome is there for me to build my character so I can grow into the person that I'm meant to be.
It's kind of a cheesy line, but like bad day for the ego is a good day for the soul.
Totally.
Right. So like you're talking about that breaking. Yeah. That breaking is not a bad thing.
And it's like
it's painful as shit. Right. Like having been there recently, like it's super painful. Yeah. But to your point, positive comes out of that growth.
Absolutely. Right? And it's like, can you get to a spot where you're willing to accept that break and not only accept that break, but like lean into it. Yeah. It's like, know that it's like, hey, like I'm about to totally break here. Like, let's go with it. Like I'm not going to avoid it. And let's see what the rebuild is going to be here like, because I'm now maybe rebuilding myself into a version that I've never been before.
Yeah.
And I'm bigger and faster and stronger than I've ever been before.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you now elevate to a new level, and you're just doing all these different things in your life that you're incredibly proud of.
Yeah.
You're really experiencing just such a level of joy or peace or love, and it works.
I think it's super important too that when you do get to that phase, that you take time to go back and appreciate and like reflect, right? Because I think so many of us, especially in like the fast-paced world, and again, you're an entrepreneur. We toured your business before we came here, excuse me. Very impressive, right? And like, you don't carry around a lot of ego. I didn't know the scale at which you were operating before, right? And that's because you don't flaunt it. You don't carry that ego with you. You said, hey, you're a sports guy. Do you want to come check out the business, right? And so again, I think it's important for all of us to take time to stop, because again, so many of us, do want to keep going after more, more, and more. And I don't think that's a bad thing, right? To have those desires to keep chasing, but you've got to build in time to reflect on everything that you've overcome, that you've been through. And it goes back to that kind of romanticizing life, right? If you don't appreciate what you've overcome, how can you truly go and desire more, right? You have to sit there and recognize your own power as well. And I think that's what romanticizing that does.
Totally. And why are you desiring more too? Like, what is the reason and the purpose that you're desiring more? It's like, I remember for me when I was younger, it's like, okay, can I build a business so I can overcome my past traumas of unworthiness and feeling inadequate? It's like, if I build this business, I may now feel whole about myself, or I may feel adequate, or I may feel accepted. But in the meantime, it's like, let me also try to go and get money, and let me also go and try to get power. And it's like, all of a sudden, it's like you're 21, 22-year-old young adult.
Yeah.
You can call it a kid, but you're acting like a kid, but
you're out on your own.
Starting to be an adult.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I want money, I want power. And you start getting a little bit of each. Yeah. And you're like, oh, fuck, I am like unstoppable. There's nothing that can get in my way right now. And the one thing that gets in your way more than anything is yourself and your ego. Yeah. And it's like, how do you get to a place where you realize it's like, this isn't actually about me. Yeah. It's about who are the people that are around me, that are with me on this journey. Yeah. And it's like, as soon as I was able to get to that place where it's like, I'm flipping this whole thing on its head. Yeah. It's like, even my team, like, they don't work for me. It's like, I'm working for them to have the best possible careers that they can have. Yeah. I want every employee of mine to be working their dream job and having their dream career and continue to ascend in what they're looking to do. Yeah. And continue to enjoy it and continue to be fulfilled by it. Yeah. And once that became my mindset, and it's like, how do I pour into that? Yeah. It's like everything changed.
Yeah. You're a shepherd, right? And like you're guiding these things in your life, whether it's your team, whether it's the money in your life. It's funny. I was listening to a podcast the other day. I don't know if you've seen, like, Charlie Sheen has a new documentary out, right? Okay. On Netflix. Okay. Right. And it's kind of about the craziness that is his life. I mean, we all remember him as, Tiger's Blood and the kind of breakdown on live TV. But he was on one of my favorite podcasts, Armchair Expert. And I was listening to it yesterday. Dax Shepard, they do long form content. They get deep, right? Which that's what I like. Okay. And he said something, and I don't know anything about Charlie Sheen's spiritual side, if he has that side, if he's tapped into it. But he was talking a little bit about where he's at financially these days, right? And one of the things Dax was saying, like 2.5 Men, like, the residuals on that alone, you got to be still raking in the money. He was making an ungodly amount of money to be an actor and show up, and he's in some of the deepest challenges of his life. And the way he started talking about it was, he said, I had to sign away. He made such poor decisions in his life that he had to sign away the rights to the back end of 2.5 Men. He does not see it dime from 2.5 Men anymore. It continues to rerun. It should be making him a ton of money. But what he said that caught me, and what you were talking and reminded me, is he said, I think that the universe has a way of, and again, this is maybe not a direct quote, but he used the words, I had that money taken away from me because I wasn't a good shepherd of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, what an incredible spiritual statement. And I don't know if he's in touch with that side of himself or not. But again, whether it's money, whether it's, our business, whether it's, we are shepherds of that in this world, right?
Incredible. I mean, yeah, it's really awesome to see a guy like Charlie Sheen who had, incredible successes and also had a downfall. It's like to see him on his ascent again and see him get to a spot where it's like Charlie Sheen is winning again. It's like, and it's like, it's really, you want to be in a spot where you can win in life.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's cool to see. Like, I had the opportunity to work with Charlie a couple of years ago. We had him sign some autographs. We had him sign some like major league jerseys.
Oh yeah.
We had him sign some $100 bills.
Okay.
And basically, he had a quote in the movie Wall Street where he said, "Greed is good." So we had him sign $100 bills that said, "Greed is good."
Okay.
And people loved those. It's like we don't have any more of those left.
Yeah. So when I brought up Charlie Sheen, I didn't know that you get to work with him.
But it was cool to be around him, and it's cool to see how he carries himself.
Yeah.
And cool to see that a guy like him really just radiates good, solid, positive energy to the people that are around him. And like, how can you just uplift the people that are around you?
Yeah.
And it's really no accident that a guy like Charlie Sheen is ultra successful, because people around him elevate. And it's like the best people who are the most successful are the people that are best at elevating the people around them.
Yeah.
Because when you elevate the people around you, collectively they all elevate you, and you achieve even like greater heights.
Yeah, it's like giving mindset, right? Pouring into those around us, and again, it's going to come back. The other thing that you were talking about was really that path for you on making money and what that looked like. It reminded me so much of my journey, and we were talking a little bit at lunch too, again, about career and what we've been through, and there's been a lot of similarities there. I didn't start making money until I came to terms with why I wanted money, right? So I had to do this deep exercise and this deep work to really understand, why is it you want to make X amount of dollars, right? And what I realized when I did this practice was, I thought that if I made more money, I would be more attractive, right? More attractive to women, a better suitor, whatever that looks like, right? And on the flip side of that, like, I like to think I'm a pretty grounded spiritual guy. I don't even want someone in my life that wants me for those things. But yet the ego still said, this is why you should have this money. This is what comes with it, right? And it wasn't until I came to terms with that and changed the why I wanted money that the gates of abundance really started to flow for me. And again, I signed the biggest client in my life back when I was in corporate America, and it came with, just, again, a number that didn't even seem possible before. That shift didn't happen until I really went into the why. Why do I want it?
And that goes for everything in life. It's like, what's the reframe you can have to make something seem like possible?
Yeah.
And it's like, when you're striving for money and power or whatever it is, and like, what is the reason, like in my case, like, what is the reason that I actually want that?
Yeah.
And for me, it may have just been as simple as like, I don't actually know anything else. I'm growing up, not in a situation where it's like I'm taught to lean towards abundance. It's like, it's like, oh, okay, hey, I see this celebrity, he's rich and famous. I see this athlete, he's rich and famous. And it's like, what do all these people have in common? Money. What do the owners of the teams have? Money. What do the owners of the production companies have? Money. All of them have money. Okay, how do I go out and get money?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, single one-track mind, let me go get money, but there's no real why as to why I'm doing it. And for me, I almost wanted to be in a spot where, hey, like, I want to go and be more relatable to people. When I grew up, I didn't have many friends. I wasn't relatable to people.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I'm making money at 22, 23, 24. And I was sitting here thinking, okay, well, now I'm going to make money. People are going to like me.
Yeah.
And not only did that not make me more relatable, that made me even less relatable.
Especially at that age,
And
right?
all of a sudden, it's like people are graduating college, they're getting jobs for $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, I mean, there's days where I could make that.
Yeah.
And I'm not relatable
Yeah.
to anyone really. And then I'm like, okay, how do I get to a point where I can accept this newfound abundance in my life, abundance that I've never had before, and also approach people from a place of acceptance and love and respect.
Yeah.
And that was an area of my life that I really, really struggled with in my early 20s. Like, first of all, the first person I didn't accept or love or respect was myself.
Yeah.
Like, that was the first person that needed to get accepted and loved and respected.
Yeah.
And if you can't accept or love or respect yourself, you're not going to accept or love or respect anybody else.
Yeah.
And I had to get to a spot where I reached that level of self-acceptance. I reached that level of self-love. I reached that level of self-respect.
What did that look like? How did you get to that place?
It seemed like I really just had to look around me and look at all of the things that I thought that I had wanted in my life, that I had gotten, like materialistically or financially, and seeing that the soul stuff wasn't there. Like the people that I wanted to connect with weren't there. The people that I wanted to accept me, the people I wanted to love me, the people that I wanted to respect me. I would go into an interaction with somebody sitting here thinking, I'm Ben Beery. Look at my resume. Look at my accomplishments. Here's what I can do.
Yeah.
Accept me, love me, respect me. And it's not how life works.
Yeah.
And I realized that I would lead with performance rather than presence.
Yeah.
And I had to make that shift. It's like, okay, how do I show up with presence rather than performance? Because I always thought that when you show up with performance, people respect you.
Yeah.
People respect the high-performing athlete. They don't know what his personal life is like. People respect the highest-paid actor, Charlie Sheen. They don't know what his personal life is like. And it's like, how do I be as present as I can be? How do I take a look at the things in my life that have happened and accept myself for who I am?
Yeah.
And once I learned how to accept myself, I was able to love myself. Once I was able to love myself, I was able to respect myself. And once I got to that place, I could look at other people and say, this is what's going on with this person. I don't have the full picture of what's going on.
Yeah.
But at the very least, when I meet somebody new, I can accept them for who they are.
Yeah. You know, I think one of the words that we don't use enough is also like not just acceptance, but allowance, right? Like that's my mentors are constantly talking to me about allowance, right? Allowance doesn't mean that you have to like this person, that you want to be around them, but you have allowance for them. They get to be them. I get to have my boundaries. I get to establish what those boundaries are with this person, but I don't get to judge that person, right? And I think that's similar to what you're talking about with the acceptance and again, just being the hyper presence. Like you bring that, you can feel that, right? And that's what people want to be seen.
Yes.
Right? Like that's all we all want, right? At the end of the day, we're chasing things because we think they will help us be more seen.
Absolutely.
Some people chase money. Some people chase, women. Some people chase, on the opposite side, they chase love because they think it's going to make them feel seen, right? But to your point, you're never going to feel that until you see yourself for who you truly are and see yourself as abundant and full and fulfilled without all those things.
Totally. And then it's like once you're able to remove yourself and remove your soul from the tie to like the materialistic or the accomplishment or to the performance.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm no longer defined by what I've done.
Yeah.
I'm defined by who I am as a person.
Yeah.
I just so happen to have certain types of accomplishments, whether that be in business or entrepreneurship or whatever we want to. get into, and there's different things that you're capable of venturing into and trying. And it's like the greatest thing is I feel like I'm capable of accomplishing anything nowadays. And that's a me thing. That has nothing to do with my business. It's like right now I'm working on trying to swim 1,000,000 yards.
I know. Where are we at today? Because you swam today.
I'm at about, I don't have like the exact running count. I'm somewhere between 800 to 850,000 yards right
it's
now.
amazing.
So it's like I need about 150,000 yards to go. Okay. I'm like, less people have swam 1,000,000 yards that have made $1 million. This is going to be a cool goal to strive towards, right? And it's like a day like today, it's not sunny. It's not sunny.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you go out anyways. Like if it's pouring rain outside, you go out anyways.
Yeah.
And
you're showing up.
You show up. You don't negotiate with yourself.
Yeah. You're showing up.
And it's like, it's so funny. The most unbreakable record in baseball. Do you know what it is?
I don't.
What is Cal Ripken Jr. played in games 2,632 consecutive games.
Consecutive games, yes.
Over 16 seasons.
Yeah.
You can go, anybody can go and hit home runs. Anybody can go and perform at a very high level for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
Find me somebody that for 16 consecutive seasons
is
going to play in every single game.
Yeah.
No injuries, or you're playing through them.
Yeah.
No, like getting into trouble or getting suspended or having certain discipline related anything. Showing up each and every day consistently. Also, he's got to be good enough to stay on the team. He's got to perform at a high enough level to where it's like, hey, you get to keep your job. You're in the lineup every single day.
That's wild.
And it's like, and it's really interesting because it's like somebody will show up for that amount of time. And it's like, again, it's revered nowadays. I mean, you look at certain entrepreneurs, you look at people like Bezos, you look at people like Musk, and it's like, again, showing up each and every day. I mean, everybody's sitting here and talking about how Elon Musk just crossed the $500 billion mark in net worth.
Yeah.
But when Elon Musk was sitting there 30 years ago not paying his, like, struggling to pay his rent because he's trying to build something.
Yeah.
And then he has his first exit.
Yeah.
He gets $180 million. I think it was from the exit of PayPal. And he took and he invested in 3 companies. He invested in Tesla, he invested in SpaceX, and he invested in, I think there was a solar company, right? It was like Solar City, or I don't remember the exact name, but he invested all of it. He's just like throwing it all in. It's like most people would get $180 million and say, all right, it was a good run.
Yeah, I'm done.
I'm going to go and live the rest of my life and
especially back then. Right off into the sunset.
Like, exactly. Yeah. Like, all right.
Maybe buy a sports team.
Yeah, buy a sports team. Or at the time, totally. And it's like, hey, jet, yacht, whatever. And now it's like, I think there was a graphic. It's like Elon Musk could buy the entire NFL.
Yeah.
And the entire NBA and the entire MLB. Like, every team
and still have
from the sports and still have whatever
more than enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but here's a guy that showed up
I would
each and every day.
Yeah. And I would argue also like had the utmost certainty.
Yeah.
Like you cannot rattle that guy on his vision.
Totally.
Right? Like to the point where he's delusional about it.
Yeah.
Right? But in the best way possible.
But that just goes to show kind of like what we were talking about earlier with people having certain levels of capacity.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't have the capacity to see what Elon Musk is seeing.
Yes.
So I think he's delusional.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't have the capacity to see what Elon Musk is seeing, so you think he's delusional. There's a large percentage of the world that does not have the capacity that Elon Musk has. I mean, you could argue that he may quite possibly be the highest capacity human that has ever lived. I mean, as far as seeing just the level of what the guy is capable of doing and performing at. And we all think he's crazy because we just can't see it. But to him, it's just like, this is normal. Wake up in the morning, $1 billion company. It's like, okay, I don't like how Twitter's run. Let's buy it, change the name.
Yep.
It's like, I mean, just those are just regular moves to him. I mean.
Yeah, but how much better would our own quality of life be if we all lived a little more delusionally with that, right? Like if we just had this hyper confidence in what we were doing and stopped doubting ourselves and had a vision for ourselves, and every day we're showing up, right? Like, again, I go back to the fact that you started this podcast. You know how many people out there want to do something like this, but allow fear to hold them back?
I did it. I'm guilty of it.
Yeah.
I wanted to start my podcast. I first thought about it in January 2024.
Okay.
I started in August 2025.
Yeah.
I was missing a couple things. The first one is I'm a business person.
Yeah.
Built a couple businesses that were profitable.
Yeah.
And I knew that right off the bat, starting a podcast is an upfront investment
Yeah.
that does not generate a return.
Yeah.
So immediately I'm like, not doing that
Yeah.
because it doesn't make any business sense. And I remember having to get to a place where I'm like, I now have to, in a way, in order for me to do my podcast, which at this point is a total dream of mine that I want to go out and impact people and share things with people, bring phenomenal guests like yourself to share different ideologies with people.
Yeah.
I now have to reframe this as this isn't a business. This isn't about the money.
No.
This is about how do we go and take action to overcome our fears
Yeah.
and show ourselves to the world. It's like we were talking about earlier, how not only do we need to accept ourselves, we need to not worry about whether others will accept us or not.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do I show up authentically to people
Yeah.
and share what I believe in authentically? Will it resonate with somebody? It's possible.
Yeah.
There's really no guarantees behind that. But how do I get to a spot where the only variable that matters is, am I being authentic to people?
Yeah.
Are the guests that I'm having on being authentic to people?
Yeah.
Are we having a real conversation? And whether somebody will want to listen to this or not will just depend on them.
Yeah. 100%.
The market will decide. People will decide if they want to
Yeah.
listen to the podcast or not. But I remember that gap between January to August. That's 20 months.
Yeah.
And this is not possible.
Yeah.
I'm doubting myself. I don't think I can do it. I'm not sure. This isn't going to work. Also, the other part is I'm going to have to share things that I may not want to share.
You gotta be
I may
vulnerable.
have to talk about things that I may not be comfortable talking about.
But the world needs more vulnerability.
They do. They
Right?
do. 100%.
And especially young guys like us.
Yes.
I think young men need more vulnerability more than anything right now.
Yes.
So I can't get behind that idea enough.
And I'm totally with you. And it's like now I'm sitting here going, like, we're in October 2025. I'm about 2 months into this. And it's like, how do I just lean in even harder
Yeah.
and be the person that is willing to share about my journey? That's why our podcast is called The Authentic Journey.
Yeah.
And not only my journey, but excited to hear about your journey. And I'm excited to have other guests on in the future that are willing to share their journey. And like you said, young men and women who could be teenagers, could be young adults, could be at any type of, anybody at any age at an inflection point in their life where they're looking at something and just going, you know what? Fuck it. The only thing that matters is I want to be me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go and quit my corporate job. I want to go do my own thing. Oh, I'm going to start the podcast. Oh, I'm going to start the memorabilia business. I'm going to start whatever I want to start, whatever I want to do. Because so many of us shortchange ourselves and stay away from doing the things that we actually want to do in fear of potential judgment from other people, or maybe we won't be accepted. And it's like, and we're just busting at the seams, waiting to do something that fulfills us.
Yeah.
And we end up in a spot where we're miserable. It's eating us alive. We're working the job that we don't like. We're living in the city we don't want to live in. But guess what? Mom and dad think it's okay. I went to dental school or whatever.
Living other people's paths that they've chosen for us.
Yes.
Right? I think that's a huge one. I think that, we talk so much about social media these days too, right? Like, I think people are sick and tired of seeing the perfected versions of people that are shown to them on Instagram, on TikTok. I think the people that are resonating the most these days are the ones that are willing to be vulnerable, like we're talking about. Like you starting this, you saying, I'm going to have to share some shit that, maybe I don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Right. And, I go back to like, I think the people that have the longest runway, and maybe it's content, the biggest impact are the ones that are real, right? Like there's always going to be the 15 minutes of fame for the content creators that are the young, attractive people that aren't really providing a ton of value in a way, but it's entertaining, right? But they're not getting into that depth, right? And I think so much of what we're missing today is more depth in all of our conversations, more presence, showing up, more allowance for people.
Totally. And when you get to also the place of like vibrational frequency, it's like highest vibrational frequency is like authenticity.
Yeah.
It's like, how authentically are we showing up to the interactions that we're having?
Yeah.
It's like, what percentage of Ben am I being right now?
Yeah.
Like, are you catching 85% of Ben? Are you catching 90% of Ben? Are you catching 100% of Ben? I mean, usually us as human beings, we don't get to 100% of any result that we strive for, right? And it's like, so the question becomes is how close to 100% of my most authentic self can I get? How deep into my authenticity can I get?
Yeah.
And can that inspire other people to get deeper into their authenticity?
Yeah.
And I believe that a world that is more authentic really vibrates higher and elevates more people and is the best possible world that we can live in. And if there's one thing that I can get out of having a podcast like this is just to inspire authenticity in others.
Yeah, 1,000%. And what I've heard from you, like, is one, when you were talking about starting a podcast, it sounds to me like you changed your why.
Yeah.
Right? You're a business guy. You had the business mindset first.
Totally.
Right? But that's not the true goal here.
Not.
Right. The goal is to help raise consciousness, to help inspire people, right? So we've taken away like the outcome, right? We've disconnected from the what happens on the other end, and we're just in the action, right? And I think that's where so much of that positivity comes from, is that disconnecting. We talk about it in like whether you call it manifestation or actualization. We talk about this idea of like you have to disconnect from the desired outcome. Right. Like I look back at my move to California, which was like the biggest desire I had at the time. The strongest desire was for me to be in San Diego. Right. And if you look at like the steps of actualizing or manifesting or action, thousands of job applications out the door. So the action was there. Right. But it wasn't until I disconnected from the idea of actually it happening for me that it happened like that. Again,
Totally.
I was saying, I decided, yes, okay, this isn't going to happen for me. Let's go look at the apartments together, and it's not going to happen. I'm going to live here in Sarasota for another year at least, right? And it wasn't until I had made that mindset shift that, boom, literally 2 weeks later, I'm moving to California. It made no logical sense, but that disconnecting from the outcome was the biggest thing. And that's why I know that no matter what happens next year for you, like this is going to be a success because you've changed that why.
Totally. And at the end of the day, success doesn't have, again, unless you're talking about math or science, it does not have an exact result or definition. It's like success is basically what you're aiming for. It's usually not specifically measurable. I mean, you can measure it to a certain metric, right? I mean, obviously you can talk about, hey, we're going to get to a certain number of viewers. Well, enough people see this. But what I won't see is the 14-year-old kid who's about to enter high school, who isn't sure about what he wants to do. Maybe he has some kind of entrepreneurial idea that his parents or his teachers or his friends are telling him he's not capable of.
Yeah.
That sees something that I say on a podcast or you say on a podcast and goes, you know what? He fucking went for it. Why can't I?
Yeah.
And the thing is I'll never know. Like, we'll never run into that kid. And if it ever happens, we'd love for anyone to reach out. Like, we'd love to have you on. It's awesome. Like, how can we inspire action in people? But like, you'll never know. Like, some of these things you'll never know. And sometimes the greatest things that can occur in your life, like, you don't actually ever know.
That's true.
Like, I mean, you sit there and you think about people that have an impact after they pass away.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, you sit there and you think about, like, we still talk about Leonardo da Vinci. Like, we still talk about Thomas Edison. Like, we still talk about Benjamin Franklin. Like, you still talk about all these people and, like, the impact that they have after their death. It's like, they weren't that famous when they were alive.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't that revered when they were alive. It's like Martin Luther King wasn't that revered when he was alive.
Yeah.
It's like you get to a point where it's like, by the way, and I'm a little bit biased here because I'm a sports fan.
Okay.
But Jackie Robinson was not as appreciated as he could have been while he was alive.
Yeah.
It's like, but if you look back and see how Jackie Robinson handled himself as a Brooklyn Dodger in 1947 when he made his debut.
The amount of restraint,
restriction
for him to be in that environment.
Yeah. The impact that he had, knowing that, hey, I am going to get treated poorly simply because of the color of my skin.
Yeah.
And I am going to handle myself like a true professional throughout, regardless of how I'm being treated.
Yeah.
He equalized sports. He made sports the representation of who's the best.
Yeah.
It no longer mattered after Jackie Robinson what demographic somebody was, where they came from.
Yeah.
All that mattered was how well could you play baseball?
Yeah.
And that translated to basketball. And that translated to football. Like, it translated to all these different sports all around the world. And the cool thing is now you're starting to see, I mean, certain games like basketball is all these players are like international.
Yeah.
It's like you got the best players in the league, Luka, Giannis, Nikola Jokic. It's like these guys are from places all around the world, and they're coming here and they're the best. And all of this started because at a time where things were segregated, you have a guy like Jackie Robinson who came in and he's like, I'm going to make this about baseball. Yeah. This is not about race. This is not about my demographic. All this is about me playing baseball. There is going to be people who don't like that for their own reasons. And sometimes all you need is time to catch up. And Jackie Robinson did not get to see glimpses of it, but he did not get to see the full vision in his lifetime.
Yeah.
And I find it amazing that today anybody can go and develop a skill in a sport, regardless of their demographic.
Yeah.
And not have limitations put on them because of the demographic that they're from.
Yep.
Jackie Robinson passed away in 1972. So he's been deceased for over 50 years now. And it's amazing to just see how, like, by the way, he's still underappreciated today.
100%. Have you seen the video of Bill Russell talking about becoming a pallbearer at his funeral?
No.
It's a great video. I highly recommend it.
Okay.
Where when Jackie died, Jackie's wife called Bill and asked Bill to be a pallbearer.
Okay.
And Bill is going, I barely knew him. Like, why me?
Yeah.
And the amount of pride that Bill had in this response from Jackie's widow was, you were his favorite athlete.
Wow.
Right? And, like, what a powerful statement. Like,
wow.
This guy revolutionized sports, and you're his favorite athlete. And so I thought that was really cool. I know we got a Lakers jersey, and I'm talking about a famous Celtic. It's a little taboo, but,
I'm a Warriors fan, bro, but I love Kobe. I love Kobe, and I love Kobe because of what Kobe represented.
Yeah.
I think what Kobe represents is you don't have to be the biggest, you don't have to be the strongest, you don't have to be the fastest, you don't have to be the most talented.
Yeah.
But you do get to control when you show up, where you show up, and how you show up.
Yeah, mindset.
And
right, Mamba mentality.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And again, another guy who wasn't fully appreciated while he was with us.
Yeah.
And you sit here and you think about the impact of Kobe Bryant. It's like, it's so much greater today that he's no longer with us.
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson's impact is so much greater today that he's no longer with us.
Yeah.
Like, we're all here in a lit room. Thomas Edison's impact is so much greater today.
Well, and
He's
I
not
think,
with us.
to your point, though, so many of these guys, I think maybe not to 100% certainty with this statement, but they were worried about what was in front of them every day.
Totally.
To that point of presence,
Yeah.
right? Like Jackie Robinson wasn't worried about the legacy he was leaving,
Yeah,
right? Like, and that's why he has a legacy.
totally.
He was doing what he thought was right. He was showing up for the love of what he wanted to do and fighting for his own rights, which then created a legacy and also a ripple effect for so many, people throughout sports and the world in general, right? And again, Kobe, I would argue too, was just worried about the next game, right? What's the next game? Next one up, right? Right. The famous quote, like they said, Kobe, you're up 2-0. Right? I think it was 2-0 at the time.
Job's not finished.
Job's not finished. What's there to be happy about? Right? Next game, right? So I think so many of those guys that you're bringing up, and again, Thomas Edison, Nikola Tesla, like all these people, like they were certain that what they were doing would have an impact, but they weren't worried about themselves being what was remembered. They were worried about the impact they were making.
Totally. And you sit there, you talk about next game. I think it was Roger Federer was giving a speech, and he was talking about
I love this, by the way.
the percentage of points
That you win
as an elite tennis player.
Yes.
And I think the percentage was something very close to 50, but
Yeah,
above
it was like
51 or
Yeah,
52, like something very close
Yeah.
to 50%.
You win just
And he's
over
like, half of the points I play, I lose.
Yeah.
Half of the points I play, I win.
Yeah.
But what matters isn't the previous point.
Yeah.
It's the next one.
The next point.
And
yeah.
it's like we can look at that for probably just about everything in our lives and just go, I understand what's happened. This is terrible or this is great or whatever it is. But what matters is the here and the now and what's right in front of me.
Yeah.
And I don't have control over how I could have handled what's in the past.
Yeah.
But I do have control over how I can handle what's right in front of me. And it's like, how do you handle those situations? It's like, do you have that next game mentality?
Yeah. I think that's beautifully said because, so many of us are either daydreaming about the future or regretting the past, right? And I think that we've got to change that mindset to where we take time to reflect, we take time to dream, but what are we doing to be present here in this moment?
Absolutely.
To your point, right? About like radical presence in the here and the now. It doesn't mean you don't have a plan, doesn't mean you don't have a vision, but not using it as escapism from the now, right? Yeah. Not using this daydream, this vision as an escape from reality, but how do I make my reality today and be present in my reality today align with my vision in the future?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's this story, and I mean, again, it's kind of like more of like a fictional, like, hey, like, what can you learn from this type of thing? But it's like, there's a young boy, he's stuck in the forest, and he's like, hey, I don't know how to get out of here. And he calls out to the forest. He's like, hey, I can't get out. Like, I can't see outside of the forest. And it's like, forest calls back to him. It's like, don't worry about seeing outside of the forest. Just take the next step.
Yeah.
And it's like everything that ends up happening in our lives that we ultimately end up with a result that we can hang our hat on and that we're proud of started at a place where we didn't try to eat the apple in one bite.
Yeah.
It's like we took one step at a time and eventually the whole apple's gone.
Yeah.
Right? Take the core, you throw it away.
Right,
but
yeah.
It's like you take one step at a time, you show up, and nothing happens overnight. It's like the overnight success happens after X amount of years of trials and tribulations, failures and successes. The beautiful thing is anytime you talk to somebody who's successful at a certain field in their life, that person is more of a failure than a successful person because they've experienced more failure than anybody else, because I don't know anybody who's successful who hasn't experienced failures.
Absolutely.
But they've taken those failures and they've stayed with it and they've stayed on their path. And that's what made them successful. They didn't quit. And it's like the people that have ultimately failed, like failed, are the ones who have experienced failures.
Yeah.
And did not get back up.
Yeah.
To be able to have that chance at their success.
One could say that that's the only true failure.
Yeah.
Right. Is not getting back up from the fall.
Totally.
Right. I mean, we talk about it in spirituality too. Like, who's more righteous? The person who has never fallen, or the person who falls off the path but chooses to get back up and go back into their introspection, into their spiritual path, into their, what do I want to put into this world?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's the latter.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And then it's like, why do you want to do things? How are you going to do things? So you got all these questions: who, what, when, where, why, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, it's so important how you approach things and what place you come from. And it's like, I mean, I feel like you can tell when somebody's doing something for reasons that are not like wholesome or genuine. Yeah. Like, I feel like you can kind of tell.
Well, and I think that so many people, like, they can usually put it together in hindsight.
Yeah.
Right? But we have to trust our inner knowing and our inner instincts. And I mean, so many of us are more intuitive than we want to believe, right? So if you're getting that feeling about somebody, like, what are your actions, right? Do you have that discernment, right? It goes back to allowance, right? Like, you get to be you over here. Doesn't mean I need to work with you. Doesn't mean I need to interact with you. We get to have boundaries. So I think, again, just more people being tuned into their own bodies and listening to their inner dialogue on that.
Totally. And it's important to set boundaries. It's really important to set boundaries in life. And one thing I've been working on recently and that I've recently learned is it's also important to discern between what are your boundaries and what are your walls. And it's like, because we all have all these different things that have occurred in our lives throughout times where we put up walls and we just, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to be this person's friend. I'm not going to go and do this job. I'm not going to get into this relationship. I'm not going to go down this path under any circumstance. But once you learn that not everything has to be a wall, and that you could put your boundary out this far, and anything crosses the boundary, you don't allow it. But the premature not allowing of somebody to get up to a boundary, or a situation to get up to a boundary. I mean, you sit there and you think about, hey, I want to start a business.
Yeah.
Well, I could have the wall up of, I'm not going to start a business because the success rate of having a business that lasts past X amount of year is less than 1% or whatever.
Like a restaurant, for example.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
like
like,
the
I mean,
statistic on that is crazy.
Yeah, I think, I mean, like, you are more like, now again, I don't know what the statistics are on different businesses, right? I'm very grateful. My business is about to be, Golden State Memorabilia is about to be 10 years old in April.
Amazing. Decade. Wow.
And it's like, it's wild for me to think about. It's just like the statistical likelihood of having a business that is 10 years old is whatever the statistical likelihood is.
Yeah.
Then
are you comfortable, to the extent you're comfortable sharing, when we were at your business earlier today, right? You talked about some of the goals you had set for, like, we were talking about how many SKUs you guys have. I don't know if you're comfortable sharing that, but I thought that was a great, again, it's a right sizing of goals, and to the extent you're comfortable, I don't know if you are or not sharing that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like, I mean, I was telling Colin earlier that when I first started in the business, we wanted to have 10,000 like unique, authentic autographs available for sale.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool. And we got to 10,000 autographs, and I wanted to get to 20,000 unique autographs that are available for sale.
Yeah.
And when we got to 20,000, I'm like, okay, it'd be cool to get to 30,000.
Yeah.
And we wanted to get to 30,000 unique SKUs that are available for sale. And It was fun. I was playing with Colin. I told him, hey, just name an NBA player the last 20 years.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, we probably have an autograph of theirs. And
Yep.
he named a couple, and we had them.
Yeah.
And when we got to 30,000 items, I'm like, okay, would it be cool to now get to 20,000 items?
Yeah,
30,000 is a lot to manage.
Yeah.
So that was cool. But
I love that anecdote or whatever you want to call it, though, because it's such the journey of an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
It's like we're constantly chasing more and more and more.
Yeah.
And then we get to a point where we realize
it's not about more. Sometimes less is more.
Sometimes less is more.
Sometimes
right?
less is more.
And so, one, you've got a really cool operation, right?
Thank you.
It's even just a cool environment to walk into and see that, you're continually innovating, right? You're offering new things to help expand
Absolutely.
margin and business and opportunities. So that was really cool, but also just to kind of hear where you're at a decade in.
Yeah.
And again, what the goals are. And I thought it was a really neat environment.
I appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's definitely, obviously a lot goes into it. And it's just so interesting to just see all these things where you have these odds stacked against you. And it would have been so easy to just say, hey, like looking at it 10 years ago, it's like, okay, if you would have told me, Ben, you need to be at a place where your business is 10 years old, and here is the statistical likelihood you would have achieved that, which would have been less than 1%.
Yeah.
And I would have said, okay, so I'm 99 point whatever percent likely to fail at this.
Yeah.
And I would have had that wall up. And it's like the easy thing would have been to not start the business.
Yeah.
But to have the boundary of, hey, let me just take the first step.
Yeah.
And until I actually get to the point where I have failed, that's my boundary. And even then, there was a few times where I kind of allowed it to get past there and go. Yeah. But the point is we allow our walls to dictate so much. And it's like to have the boundary of allowing something to get as far as it can get without crossing the line, and only reacting to it once it crosses the line, I believe is what gives us a chance to do the greatest things that we could possibly do in life.
Yeah. It goes back to like you're removing fear from the equation, right? You because again, we see it start to push up against that line, and fear takes over. Right? Yeah. So what you did and what you're embodying and you're talking about in that moment is like I set hard and fast rules.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have a reaction until we get to this point, and you've defined it very clearly. So you essentially set up a framework for yourself to operate in a fear-free zone. Right. And I think that's probably a big part of why you've been successful.
Well, I'll say this. Nothing's ever fear-free.
Okay.
But
the fear
when fear comes up, the question becomes is how do you react to it?
Yeah.
And why is the fear there?
Yeah.
It's like usually when you're experiencing fear, it's because whatever is on the other side of fear is so great and so profound that it does kind of shake up your body a little bit. It does kind of shake up your nervous system a little bit. But once you overcome it, you get to experience what it is that's so profound that you've been striving for. And usually, from my experience, it's worth experiencing fear like every time.
Yeah.
It's like
beautiful.
Anytime you can get yourself to experience fear in life, it's like it's so great because the feeling of what's on the other side is that much more profound than the fear.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
So it's exciting times coming up. I can say that the future is unknown.
Yeah.
I have no clue what my future holds, like zero.
Yeah.
But I do know that I can control showing up every day, being my most authentic self every day. Yeah. And whatever happens, I'm here for it.
Yeah, it's happening for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's exciting to just see what's up next.
Nice.
Colin, so we've talked about all these things where you're looking to give to people. You're looking to show yourself to people. Yeah. You're really looking to inspire others. You've taken this step. You used to work at your corporate job. Now you're wanting to go on and you're on your entrepreneurship journey, and you're really just wanting to show people what's possible. Like, what's next for you? What does that look like? Like, what's the vision?
Yeah. I think it's going to grow, but I think really right now it's start small, right? It's be vulnerable on camera, right? Which can feel very scary, but to try to inspire people to really understand, we've talked a lot about like romanticizing your own life, looking for a greater vision, being present, all these things that align you to really overcome the challenges that are happening in your life. I think for me, just to be vulnerable myself, I've been going through, a challenging time for the last month or so. And, today was one of those days where when I woke up, I said, how have I been showing up in the world? Right. And again, it's one of my mentors that, as I was talking about some of these challenges I've been going through, asked me that question, right? Like, not with the judgment, just, again, there's always going to be challenges. He knows my goals, he knows my desires, and he's saying, you have these amazing goals that you're going after and you're going to achieve them. He's rooting for me. He goes, but how are you showing up in the world? And so this morning, again, I woke up and acknowledging that I've had a lot of heaviness, and I described it. It's been a mix of personal but also work. Right, I'm a solopreneur now, an entrepreneur, and so much of what I've felt lately is like wading through a marsh. Right, like things are getting done. Right, it's not like nothing's happening, but it feels slow. It feels like a grind. Right, and so it's like, how do I show up still for the people in my world? And that's what when we talk about Reform Scorpio Club. So the one thing I did today is I had 3 people that popped into my mind, and I shot them each a text, right? One of them was a friend of mine who's been on the job hunt. He just got a job offer, and I texted him and said, how's it going? Did we accept the job offer, right? And the synchronicity of the moment, he texted me back and said, I'm signing the DocuSign right now.
Fuck yeah.
Right? And so it was like, all right, how do I pour love into him and be like, congratulations, man, I know what you've been going through, right? So really putting my own baggage aside, right? Because I've been so consumed by the challenges lately. How do I put that aside, and how do I pour into these 3 people? The other person going through a tough time right now as well. And I just said, hey, how you doing, man? Right. And it's going to kick off. And he got back to me and said, I've been thinking about this, this, and this. The third person is a really good friend of mine who today was the launch of his new business.
Okay.
Right? And so for me, it was just, it was this a little bit of a love letter to one of my best friends. I'm like, really telling him how proud I am of him. He's taking the leap, and again, really stressing to him that like, I know he's going to be successful. And it has nothing to do with the knowledge that he has in his industry, which is a shit ton of knowledge in that industry. It has everything to do with how he shows up in the world and what he pours into people, right? So I think you asked me what the vision is. It's like, I've got to start small and become the person in my daily life to the people around me that I want to show up for me, right? And so how do I embody that? How do I try to make the people around me better or have a better quality of life? Just know that they're loved and supported, despite whatever I'm going through. And I think the longer term vision is to really grow that community of like-minded individuals who are seeking more, who are pouring into themselves and trying to do the introspective work to learn what makes them tick, what are their challenges, what are their triggers, and help them with the tools and the people and the teachers and the mentors to overcome those and become the best version of themselves possible.
That really becomes an interesting situation, like as an entrepreneur, having a community of people, having people that you can turn to. Because we don't have coworkers. No. We don't have people that we have interactions with on a daily basis, whether we like it or not. Like as an entrepreneur, you're often caught in your own world, doing your own thing. And it's really you and your thoughts. So being around other people, it always like, how do you get around other people that are like-minded, that can, like, where you guys can uplift each other?
Yeah. Spot on, right? My journey, right? When I was in corporate America and I was, vice president of business development at an agency that helped brands in the e-commerce world, I was talking to, how many meetings a day was I in internally versus how many people was I meeting on a Zoom call for the first time, right? And I'm an extrovert. I get my energy from those interactions. So, I was telling someone this the other day where they say, the age-old question is like, what's a more productive day for you? Totally. When you have a full schedule with no time to breathe, but yet you've got X, Y, and Z that you've still got to get done that's not in those meetings? Or is it the empty day, right? Where you have all the free time in the world? I know me, and I think it's different for everyone, but like I'm the guy that full calendar, that's when I'm getting most of my stuff done, right? That full schedule keeps me accountable to my deadlines, to all the things that I have to fit in the nooks and crannies in the schedule. But I also have so much energy from talking to those people, right? And so for me, as a solopreneur now, I've been doing this, for call it 8 months, right? And it's been a slow grind to really decide where do I want to spend my energy, what am I passionate about, right? All things that we've discussed and talked about. I think that it's been really an opportunity for me to acknowledge I have to seek those opportunities out, right? So whether it's, next week when I'm having a day where I'm like, man, I'm just not feeling the energy. And I call my buddy Ben up. I say, hey man, how are things going down there at the warehouse? Just shoot the shit for 5 to 10 minutes.
Totally.
Right. Or to your point, the other solopreneurs, the other people that are paving that path on their own, right? Like I know that I can give them a ring and just say, what's going on in your world?
Absolutely.
Right? And it gets the brain going, it jogs that problem solving mentality as well, to hear maybe some of the issues that you're doing in your business, even though that's not my field of expertise. It's just like we all get to start brainstorming and thinking about those. Well,
sometimes you just got to get something off your chest. It's like, Absolutely. And there's just nobody to talk to. It's like, there's something going on. It may be an issue. It may not be an issue.
Yeah.
It's not to the point where you want to talk about it with any of your employees or anybody that you're doing business with. And to have that network of people to lean on where you can just have a conversation and say, hey, I'm not even asking for any help or any advice. I just want to talk. Can you listen? It's like, that's just huge.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a couple phenomenal stats, and I think one of them has to do with like 7 minutes, right? Like you just need one friend who you can talk to for 7 minutes, and it can shift the mindset completely, right? So to your point, like you got to build a roster of people that you feel comfortable and trust and you can be vulnerable with. But I think that's where so much of the growth comes from, right? Like we all have the capability internally to work through the issues, but sometimes to your point, we just need to say it out loud. We just need to start talking through it in order for everything to start to, in our own minds, fall into place.
Yeah. And then who are those friends that will say, hey, for you, I've got 7 minutes, like any fucking time.
Yeah. Yeah. Middle of the night, whatever you need. Right. Yeah. Those ride or dies.
Because it's just, again, it's a lonely journey. It is a very, very, very lonely journey.
Yeah.
If you choose to make it that way.
Yeah.
But it is not a lonely journey. Entrepreneurship is not a lonely journey if you choose to let people in.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because I look at the parallels of like how I like used to do things, and it's like it was a lonely journey for me.
Yeah.
I was in the office 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Sure, I was there with my employees, but not very comfortable sharing a lot of things with them.
Of course.
Also not very comfortable sharing things with people that I was doing business with, different colleagues.
Yeah.
And I didn't allow myself to have the outside people. And by the way, I'm still kind of working on learning how to receive help, receive advice, receive feedback. Like it's still something that, everybody's working on different things, but to be in a spot where you have people, and it's like, I'm so grateful. It's like to have the network of people that I have now where it's like, hey, like I've got a number of people that I can call that'll have 7 minutes for me any time of day. And it's like realizing it's like, hey, entrepreneurship is only a lonely journey if you make it a lonely journey.
Yeah.
And that's so cool.
And I think for me, the early stages, it was lonely. And again, you've been at it a decade. I've been at it, 8 months. Right. And so there's a lot of, extreme opposite ends here. But for me too, I think, my journey to entrepreneurship again was something I've always wanted to do, but the universe pushed me into doing it.
Yeah.
Right. I think we were talking at lunch, and again, it was one of those things where, I was in a corporate job, and again had done very well, was making a lot of money, and, that came crashing down when, I eventually got fired, and again, it was a shock, and I was really proud of what I did there. And for the months leading up to that happening, I'd been in my mentor's office, my spiritual mentor, and been saying, hey, this is so heavy, right? Like I'm making the most money I've ever made in my life right now, but I can't bring myself to write a fucking email, right? Like I just don't want to do it. I'm tired of it. I want to do my own thing. And so when that news flowed to me that, and again, it was an interesting situation because it wasn't even you're fired today. It was, hey, we want you to stay on for 2 more weeks and then we want you to leave.
Yeah.
Come help us close one more client and then get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And I think for me it was, it was an opportunity to use so many of the spiritual tools that I've been trying to put into practice, right? Restriction. Okay, what do I do here? This is lighting a fire within me. I want to defend myself. I don't feel this is right. I feel the injustice of this in so many ways. But really, again, I was telling you, I went to an event later that night and I saw one of my mentors and I said, found out I'm being fired in 2 weeks. And he looked me in the face with the biggest smile and said, congratulations, right? And it was an opportunity. It's an opportunity from the universe. I've been talking about doing this for so long. I have so many things that I've wanted to do on my own. The universe has provided that path for me. And so it's been, a dual-pronged journey for me where, one, I'd associated so much shame with that F word, the fired, right? And just for whatever it is, I've never been in that situation before. I had, really proud of the career I built, to grow the business that I was in charge of stewarding and to really shepherd that business to almost a 2x multiple of when I came in. So for me, it was, there was so many emotions that came up through that. And it was, how do I get the emotions under control? How do I find out what's next for me and tap into how do I help other people now that I've been through this, right? And also come to terms with like the firing is happening for me, right? There's nothing to be ashamed of here. This is, you said you wanted to do this. Here's the path for it.
And sometimes we just need that kick out the door to happen in our lives. Like sometimes there's things we want that we're not willing to go and get because the current known situation is just comfortable enough for us to not want to be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And sometimes we just need that little kick out the door where it's like, get your ass out of here.
Yep.
And you venture into the uncomfortable and the unknown. And all of a sudden you build the unknown into something so much greater than anything that you've ever had before. And it's like, it's almost like whatever it is that you've always wanted, but you just get to a spot where you would never have even started had you been allowed to stay in the current situation that you're in. And it just goes to say, it's like you're on your entrepreneurship journey. Yeah, you said it's 8. I mean, whether it's 1 day or 1 decade, I mean, day 1 is the hardest day. I mean, and everything that we sit there and we think about is like, hey, we keep telling ourselves 1 day, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day, 1 day.
Yep.
Until one day we finally say day 1.
Yep.
And when you say day 1, that is the most important decision that you will ever make.
Yeah.
And then your path can begin.
And there's something so beautiful about being so totally in control of your journey.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what entrepreneurship provides, right? And you've been through it. I've been working through it, and I'm excited, to be launching these projects here, and they'll be launched before the end of the year. And again, even right away, day 1, there was the consulting business, and I've been lucky to work with some amazing people. And, I was able to work with people that I wouldn't have been able to help at the agency, right? When I was in the agency, there was numbers that people had to be hitting to work with us, right? Like, and that was what would be so challenging is to, see a young entrepreneur who's chasing their dream coming to us for help. You don't meet our minimums. I'm sorry, I can't work with you, And so I get to work with both the high-powered clients who have the big budget, as well as try to pour value into these smaller brands that, maybe they do need someone who's more of a boutique consulting agency because they don't qualify to work or they don't have the budget to work with those, flashy agencies where a lot of times you're just paying for the overhead, And so it's allowed me to be in total control, but it also has provided an opportunity to hold myself accountable too.
Sure.
Right.
And how amazing is that when you get to come across that entrepreneur who's like, hey man, like I need you to help me drive this car. Like get in, like we're pushing this thing forward. Like I don't really know where it's heading, but we just got to start picking up some speed.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's cool. Like, I mean, and it's like, every entrepreneur has a dream.
Yeah.
And they have a why as to why they're doing what they're doing. And I just have so much respect for anybody that decides to step into that journey. So
Likewise.
I'm
Yeah.
like grateful that you're here sharing your story. Like, I'm proud of you for taking that step. And it's like, I'm excited to see what comes up. Like, what's here in the days ahead.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I truly, truly appreciate that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Colin, I am excited. It was so great to have you on today. Where can our audience connect with you?
Yeah, I think, on Instagram at Colin Snowball, coming soon also at Reform Scorpio Club. And then, but via email, colin@partsoffortune.com.
Parts of Fortune. There we go. Well, I am, that's awesome. And
Yes.
I mean, I really hope that, again, just you've shared so much insight with everyone today, and like, I'm excited for your journey going forward. Like, I mean, I don't take it lightly seeing somebody embark on their entrepreneurial journey and going and chasing their dreams.
Yeah.
And again, one day or day one, and you chose your day one, and now you're off to the races. So it's amazing.
I'm honored. Thank you for having me. And again, you putting together an incredible opportunity for people to share, be vulnerable, and I think that's just going to reverberate, and this will continue to grow for you as well. So I'm honored to get in and be at episode 10, 9, 10, somewhere around there.
It'll get on there. Yeah, you're the first very few. So it's like one of these days you'll be scrolling down Spotify or Apple or wherever you're looking at your podcast, and you go, damn, like, I remember when I recorded that podcast with Ben, and it's the first. It's not going to be the last.
I love it.
So I love it. I love it. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. I mean, it was so great having Colin on today. I'm your host, Ben Beery. You can reach me on Instagram at Ben Beery, BenBeeri. And if you love this episode, anything resonated with you that Colin shared, please share this episode with your friends. Give us a like, give us a comment. We'd love to hear your feedback. Love to hear more feedback so we can get more guests on and have more great insights shared with you guys. And we'll see you on the next episode of The Authentic Journey.